Have you ever heard of a place where it's literally forbidden to die or be born? It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, right? But this place is very real. Welcome to Longyearbyen, the world's northernmost settlement, a remote town on the Norwegian archipelago of Svalbard. Nestled deep within the Arctic Circle, it's closer to the North Pole than it is to Oslo, the capital of Norway. Life here is unlike anywhere else on Earth, governed by a set of rules that are as extreme as its environment. Imagine living in a town where the sun disappears for 4 months straight, plunging everything into a constant polar night. Then, for another 4 months, it never sets, giving you the endless midnight sun. This isn't just a quirky fact, it shapes every aspect of life for the roughly 2,000 residents who call this icy frontier home. But the most astonishing rule of all, the one that has made Longyearbyen famous around the world, it's the law against dying. That's right, it is technically illegal to die in Longyearbyen. This isn't some morbid joke, it's a practical measure born from a stark, frozen reality. Back in the 1950s, scientists made a chilling discovery. They found that bodies buried in the local cemetery were not decomposing because of the permafrost, the permanently frozen ground. The icy soil was preserving the bodies almost perfectly. This led to a terrifying realization. If the bodies weren't decomposing, then any viruses or bacteria they carried could also be perfectly preserved. The fear was that ancient, deadly diseases could one day be released. In fact, they even found intact traces of the virus that caused the 1918 flu pandemic in bodies exhumed from the Longyearbyen cemetery. The potential for a future outbreak was too great a risk. So, the town made a pragmatic decision: no more burials. Since 1950, the cemetery has been closed. Anyone who becomes terminally ill or is nearing the end of their life is gently encouraged and required to fly back to mainland Norway to live out their final days. It's a somber but necessary policy to protect the living. So what happens if someone passes away unexpectedly? In those tragic cases, the body is carefully stored and then flown to the mainland for burial or cremation. It is a strange and unique logistical challenge that highlights the town's constant battle with its environment. There's no morgue in the traditional sense, just a system designed to move the deceased away from the frozen ground as quickly as possible. This policy makes Longyearbyen the only place on Earth where you officially cannot be laid to rest. And it's not just death that's regulated. Giving birth in Longyearbyen is also strongly discouraged. The small local hospital isn't equipped to handle complications or premature births. It's more like a clinic, capable of basic care but not major medical emergencies. For the safety of both mother and child, expectant mothers are required to travel to the mainland, usually to cities like Tromsø or Oslo, about 3 weeks before their due date. They stay there until after the baby is born, and they are both healthy enough to return. So, while a few surprise births have happened in the town's history, almost no one born in Longyearbyen can claim it as their official birthplace on their passport. It's a community of arrivals and departures, where the beginning and end of life happen somewhere else. This adds another layer to the town's transient feel. People come here for work, for adventure, for a few years, but very few are born here, and no one is buried here. It's a place of temporary existence, framed by the vast, unforgiving Arctic. Living in Longyearbyen comes with another, more immediate danger: polar bears. There are actually more polar bears than people on the Svalbard archipelago. These majestic but deadly predators roam freely, and they see humans as a potential food source. Because of this constant threat, it is mandatory to carry a rifle whenever you leave the main settlement. You'll see students walking to the university with rifles slung over their shoulders, right next to their backpacks. It's a jarring sight for outsiders, but for locals, it's just common sense. Safety first. The town is a safe zone, but the moment you step outside its boundaries, you are in polar bear territory. Strict gun laws are in place, and everyone must undergo training to learn how to use a rifle properly and, more importantly, how to scare a bear away without harming it. Firing the weapon is always the last resort. The goal is coexistence, but the reality is that you must always be prepared for a life or death encounter. You'll even find signs on shop doors saying, "Please leave your firearms outside." It's just another part of the daily routine in this extraordinary town. Despite all these challenges, the darkness, the cold, the polar bears, and the unusual laws about life and death, people are drawn to Longyearbyen. Why? For many, it's the raw, untouched beauty of the Arctic. The landscape is breathtaking, with glaciers calving into the sea, jagged mountains piercing the sky, and the magical dance of the northern lights during the polar night. It's a paradise for adventurers, scientists, and anyone seeking an escape from the ordinary. The community is also incredibly tight-knit and international, with people from over 50 different countries living and working together. They are miners, researchers, tour guides, and artists, all united by their shared experience of living at the top of the world. There's a surprising amount of culture here too, with a museum, an art gallery, a cinema, and even a world-class university center dedicated to Arctic studies. It's a place of stark contrasts, a modern, vibrant community thriving in one of the planet's most extreme environments. One of the most vital projects in Longyearbyen is the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Carved deep into a mountainside, this is a fail-safe facility designed to protect the future of humanity's food supply. It's like a backup drive for the world's agriculture. Millions of seeds from every country on Earth are stored here, kept safe and frozen by the natural permafrost. The vault is built to withstand natural disasters, man-made conflicts, and the test of time. In a town where death is outlawed to prevent the release of old viruses, it's fitting that it's also home to a place dedicated to preserving life for future generations. So, Longyearbyen is much more than just a quirky headline. It's a fascinating case study in human adaptation and resilience. It's a place that forces you to confront the fundamental realities of life, death, and survival. It is a community that has created its own unique set of rules to thrive in a land of eternal ice and midnight sun. A town where you can't be born and can't die, but where you can truly, intensely live. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey to the top of the world. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more adventures into the most incredible places on our planet. See you in the next video.